Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and this time I'll be playing Dishonored 2 Blind. I very recently finished Dishonored 1, and there is going to be a link to the playlist in the description in case you would like to check that out. I liked the game and I had fun, although I wouldn't say it was any kind of masterpiece to last through the ages. In fact, in many ways, I found it to be worse than the original Thief games, Thief 1 and 2. But enough about that. I am cautiously optimistic about Dishonored 2, but I do not expect it to blow my mind. I expect it to be more of the same, with some adjustments maybe. So we'll see how it goes. Apparently the loading page here depicts Emily with Corvo as her protector. So let's start a new game. Now it says continue here because I played for a bit to check the audio levels and the like. So let's override this. I will be playing on hard. I played on hard in Dishonored 1 and it was totally bearable. So actually I'm kind of tempted to go with very hard. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. I kind of sucked at the whole stealth, and I do wholeheartedly expect to suck here as well. So prepare yourselves for that. But I'll give it a try. Let's go on very hard. Brutal experience for highly skilled players. Yeah, probably doesn't apply to me, but let's try it nonetheless. Do you want to start the tutorial? Yes, because maybe there will be some new mechanics that didn't exist in the first one. As Emily Kaldwin, ruler of the Empire of the Isles, you have numerous enemies. Your father is Lord Corvo Attano, infamous royal protector and spy master. In the years since you took the throne, Corvo has spent many hours training you in the arts of stealth and combat.
I remember training with my father in the years after the rat plague. Someday, he said, our enemies will come for you.
So apparently I play as Emily in this game, which is cool. Corvo was an extremely bland character. You didn't really learn that much about him.
Sounds and smells of Dunwall never change much. This is my city.
Because he was a silent protagonist, whereas here, warning, dangerous current, no swimming beyond this point. Whereas here apparently you not only play as Emily, but she also is a voiced protagonist. Okay, can I disable the... I will disable the quest markers. Although I'm pretty sure I already did that, so maybe they just appear. Awareness markers disabled. Objective markers, no.
What training regimen does Father have in store for me today?
All right, Majesty. Let's see what you can do.
If I get going fast enough, I could slide beneath that. All right, good.
You'll have to sprint, vault the obstacle, then slide under. Hurry!
Yes. What's next? No way except to climb. If only I could spend every day running and jumping. Now to test my agility.
Come to me. You've learned well. Let's see how quiet you are, young lady.
Press C to toggle stealth, blah blah blah. Stealth modes enable you to take cover in the... Okay, I know that already. It's more or less the same from the previous game.
That's my girl.
Still Corvo's key.
Don't let me hear you or see you.
Didn't see anything at all.
Given time,
Quiet as a
the enemy
lynx
will
stalking a
notice you,
gazelle.
even if you're at the edge of their peripheral vision. Remember, a pistol will wake up everyone in the building. Your crossbow is quiet.
Well, it's not that quiet, really. It's actually louder than I expected. Taxes, taxes, taxes. Okay. Now I find it a little ironic to, you know, deface buildings with graffiti complaining about taxes, because there is a high possibility that, you know, public servants, if this is like a public building, of public use, are going to get called to clean that up, and you're going to pay for that with your taxes. Culero cigars, sophisticated and refined. Empress hardware. Storage company.
Time for some more weapons and combat training. Let's beat each other up, shall we?
Press this to attack with your sword. It's pretty much the same as it was.
That's my daughter. When someone swings a sword at you, block.
Control to block with your sword, the same as in the previous game.
Well done. Block with your blade. If you time your block right, you'll throw an enemy off balance.
Yeah, I knew that already as well.
You're quick.
It's also the same as in the previous game.
Smart move. That'd stop even the most black-hearted killer. You can choke an enemy out, even in combat.
Oh, okay, this is actually super cool, because that's something I complained about in the first game, that there was no non-lethal takedown in melee, which, you know, once you reach the melee...
While they're off balance, deliver a fatal blow.
It was pretty much a state of failure for a non-lethal playthrough.
When an enemy is off balance, you can land a lethal counterattack.
Whereas here, it seems, you know, you have non-lethal takedowns even in melee, so you can salvage a...
Feel better knowing you can take care of yourself. When trouble does finally come, you're ready to fight.
You can salvage a situation in which you get spotted, which, trust me, is going to happen often. Going to happen often in this playthrough. I also try to reload a little bit less, and instead I'll try to fight them still if I get discovered, or like flee and hide. Oops, I haven't read the tooltip.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have succeeded, but my father, Corvo Attano, hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces. All these years later, am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off my enemies and dressing it up like my father and I are responsible. I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Watch your step, Majesty.
I'm not looking forward to all the ceremony today.
Your signet ring. There, you're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
All hail Her Imperial Majesty, Emily Kaldwin.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jessamine Kaldwin. May her memory survive through the ages.
Emily.
You look tired, Father.
Every year, I think the anniversary of Jessamine's death will be easier, but it never is.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these assassinations are a misguided effort to protect me.
No. Someone's trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsay says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
His Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsay? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Attano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks. For now, I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Kaldwin, your rightful Empress, Delilah Kaldwin.
Impossible.
My mother had a sister?
My dearest niece, hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Yuhorn Jacob Kaldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Kaldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Kaldwin.
Royal Protector, how naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful Empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Kaldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
What?
Sword can't still my heart.
Oh, so it actually gives me a choice. I can still play as Corvo, but to be honest, I don't want to. Usually, in games, I play as a man, if there's an option between playing as a male or a female character. But this time, I just think Corvo is an infinitely more boring character based on Dishonored 1 than Emily, you know. Emily has risen to be the Empress, and you know, overcame the trauma of seeing her mother's death. I think it's just more interesting to, you know, now I'm getting deposed, and I'll have to stop that and return to power, I presume. So I think it's more interesting if I play as Emily. So I will play as Emily Kaldwin, ruler of the Empire of the Isles, trained in stealth and combat by her father, Corvo Attano. Yeah, let's do that. Play as Emily? Yes.
I will cast you in cold marble. No! Sweet girl, over time you will come to love me. Perhaps someday you'll see me as the mother you lost. But until then, you'll be kept out of trouble.
I'll lock Lady Emily in her chambers, then I'll bring her to Cauldron prison until her trial. My father lost it all when I was a boy, so now I wear this uniform, and I send 20-year-olds out to patrol the Rose Gardens instead of drinking with the men from the shooting club.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lady Emily, what happened?
I'll be all Captain Mayhew.
No!
That's the Royal Protector's fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half? There's a legend in the Tower Guard about the Empress's last resort, a safe room inside your chambers holding enough gold to buy a good-sized island. They say that this ring is one of the only 2 keys to exist.
What happened? Alexei. The throne room. Father. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
Now, I am curious about if...
Hold your horses, Corvo.
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Serkonos.
In the world, he's old blood, one of the good families. And now that he's helped the rightful Empress take the throne, the Ramseys are going to be back in fashion in Dunwall. You'd be smart to remember that.
I'm hungry.
I wonder if it's going to be explained at all how Delilah is back, because best case scenario, she should have been imprisoned in a portrait by Dodd in the Brigamore Witches DLC, and I just killed her in my playthrough. She was very vigorously stabbed, which is difficult to usually survive, but then of course she is a witch. Like, she seemed to have, like, taken the outsider's mark off of Corvo's hand, so I guess she, like, stole his powers. Or something. Oh well. I just wonder if this game is going to even bring up Brigamore Witches DLC, or am I supposed to assume it just didn't happen?
Should I just spin it and pick a place to hide for a while? I need time to think.
A letter from the Tivian Trade Commission. Our most esteemed Empress, as you know, freight from Serkonos bound for Tivia is now routinely set upon by pirates or spoiled with bloodflies. In addition to the loss of Tivian lives by the crew, be they crew, dockworkers or shopkeepers, there is a material cost of the cargo itself, which can barely be calculated. If things continue unchecked, we will be forced to cease trade with Serkonos, and perhaps even embargo ships from the southernmost isle altogether. But this need not come to pass. The Trade Commission is a reasonable body and has already considered remedies to ameliorate the situation. We seek the following: independent qualified inspectors at all ports, patrols to defend against pirates and smugglers, compensation for their previous and future losses. It is this list of remedies that I wish to discuss with you in person at the earliest possible opportunity. So far, your staff have resisted our efforts to establish a definite time for negotiation. Prompt them to action, Majesty, for we are eager to travel to Dunwall. Until we can sit down and discuss this in a civilized fashion, I send you our best. Deman Shragin, Principal, the Tivian Trade Commission.
The Hound Pits pub. I can't believe it, but I actually miss those times.
Let's stuff my face. Oh, rotten food will not replenish my health, so I guess I have to take a look at what am I stuffing my face with.
I used to hide frogs in this old grandfather clock to drive the housekeepers mad. I thought life was complicated back then.
Schedule for the Middle Song's Eve. Empress, presented for your approval, the schedule for the Middle Song's Eve. Morning meal with the Tivian Trade Commission. Presentation from the research vessel Loblolly Swift, just returned from the newly discovered island chain off of Pandician continent. A midday meal with the dignitaries from Morley will present you with a gift in exchange for your attention to their complaints. A dedication and speech of the new wing at the infirmary house for the aged seafarers. A meeting with the advisors on the issue of the bloodflies in the south. Evening meal with Lord Corvo at his request. Eric Plainstow, scheduling secretary. Ship launch protocol. Empress, after the Royal Protector's shakedown cruise, We'll launch the ESS Jessamine Kaldwin just before the anniversary of your mother's passing, pending your approval, of course. On the platform, we'll have a bottle of King Street brandy tied to a long tether that you will release to swing against the hull. What you say during the ceremony is of course up to you, but here are some interesting ideas to serve as food for thought. May a brisk wind hurry you to shores near, far and fair. May you shelter your crews from the perils of the terrible ocean. May you always sail for Bristol, true of heart, and homeward bound. Yours faithfully, Advisor Wainwright. A letter from Advisor Helmswater. Empress, we face yet another murder, and I cannot remain silent on this matter. Strange, is it not, that all of the victims have openly opposed you? If not strange, then oh so very convenient. Is there anything you wish to tell me, Majesty? How can I be your advisor if you don't include me in the most sensitive of endeavors? I feel that I must be the only person in Dunwall who doesn't know the truth about the Crown Killer. Don't leave me out in the cold. I remain your trusted servant and advisor. Lenora Helmswater. Okay.
How many times have I looked at that skyline? It feels like everything just changed.
See, no passage here. And it doesn't look like a place I could hold on to. But it seems there are further windows this way. So maybe I can open them. Indeed.
Delilah is some sort of witch. How is this possible?
Yeah, she is a witch. Although
Lady Emily, you're all right. I was worried.
Okay, please excuse me, dying captain of my guard, while I check the cupboards for valuables that I can steal.
I can't dally. No time for that now.
Oh, this is...
I need my signet ring.
Okay, so this
won't open without my ring. Ramsey has it.
This is the safe room that he mentioned he wants to plunder, but I guess he doesn't know exactly where it is. I must say, it's a little dumb to just have this ornament in the open like this, because it makes it kind of obvious. If anything, it should be hidden somewhere. The opening mechanism itself should be hidden, and then you need the ring on top of that as an additional protection. Serkonan Legends, the lost ship returns. Okay, and there are some ghosts or something.
Where's the Royal Protector?
There's a coup underway. My father is... he's imprisoned, for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Through your safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks, looking for the Royal Protector. Find her. Get out of Dunwall.
Alexei, I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Okay, it has just dawned on me after I did that setting an alarm on the clock probably wasn't the smartest move, because it could have alerted him. Unconscious, okay. Audience request. Captain Mayhew, you don't know me, but you've got to tell the Royal Protector that I have urgent need of his time. I'm carrying a message that has to be delivered face to face. Tell him I'm working with Anton Sokolov, an old friend. All the boats are being sent away from the docks, but I'll delay as long as I can. Tell Lord Corvo where to find me. My ship is called the Dreadful Whale. Megan Foster. Royal Conservatory, Great Owl.
Emily, I know times are hard. You're the ruler of 4 nations, and I won't pretend to understand the pressure you're under. Only you and your mother before you could know what that's like. Whoever's killing off your enemies is doing so for calculated effect, undermining us. I do know what it's like to be blamed for murders you didn't commit, but trust me, we'll find this crown killer, and they'll pay. Tomorrow is the anniversary of her death. A sad day for sure. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've held on to the throne, and you've done what you thought was right for the people of the Empire. You drained the flooded district, kept the gangs in check, and yesterday we launched a magnificent ship bearing Jessamine's name. You're becoming the sovereign your mother wanted you to be, and I'm proud of you.
Okay, are there any more guards on this level?
Oh, isn't it laundry day yet? Oh, it's gotta be soon. I can't stand my own stench.
The Royal Protector. The historical records of government positions and ranks. Corvo Attano, accused of assassinating the Empress he was sworn to protect. How unlikely would he be not only to overcome this shame, but then redeem himself fully as to be named Royal Protector to yet another Empress? Those of us here at the College of Histories were too fast to use pen against him. Yet let us not blame historians, for the evidence against Attano was nearly overwhelming. First, he is the only royal protector ever to have been born on an island other than Crystal. His foreignness is not itself a crime, but added to the suspicion, the most forgiving of which was that he lacked the capacity to fully understand his duties. Second, he was caught quite red-handed, with a bloodied weapon, kneeling over the body of Empress Jessamine. Of course, it turns out that even this damning evidence was part of a clever plot to destroy the Empress and remove Attano from interfering with the ongoing plans of the Lord Regent's conspirators. And while I admit that publishing what are now clearly incorrect conclusions regarding Corvo Attano, I will not, as some of my other colleagues have done, resign my position at our veritable organization. Instead, I reassert myself in the endeavor of weeding out fact from fiction to produce the most salient histories possible.
I hope they accept my transfer. I've got to get over to one of the other districts.
Launching the ISS Jessamine Kaldwin. But wait, that didn't happen yet. How did you, like, you know, obviously you can paint it as an imagining, but I feel like that's kind of weird because it's a historical event that is scheduled to happen in the very near future. Dunwall Docks, ship launch preparations. So you'd think they should wait until it is happening, and only after paint paintings that depict it. Okay, where's the guard?
Put in a request for new boots, and what did I get? The sock. One useless sock.
Traitors.
Okay, let's continue. Serkonan Legends, I've seen that painting just like a minute ago. Apartment in Karnaka, midday. Apartment in Karnaka, Curiosity Wall. The Crown Killer strikes again. He kind of looks a little bit like Dode. He has the mask. Although again, I guess if you are an assassin, you would probably wear a mask regardless of whether you're part of a specific gang. Like, it's, you know, just good reasoning. Crown Killer strikes again. Dunwall citizens express shock and fear as yet another outspoken critic of Empress Emily Kaldwin has met a violent demise. The latest victim is none other than Ichabod Boyle, a notable entrepreneur and supporter of the arts. Boyle recently wrote an opinion piece harshly criticizing the Empress for what he calls her slipshod style of government and willful neglect of duties. Authorities are convinced the Crown Killer is culprit, given the gruesome details left at the crime scene. As Her Majesty's most outspoken adversaries fall one by one to this notorious assassin, we boldly ask, is it now the duty of the Royal Protector to murder all who dare to criticize the throne? You know, that is actually... that is a pretty interesting way of undermining someone, to specifically kill people that are that person's most outspoken critics, because obviously there is this criminalistic rule, which when a crime happens, you're always supposed to ask cui bono, who benefits from that crime, to when you try to determine who could have done it. And obviously in this case it does kind of make sense, especially knowing that Corvo is a well-known, prolific, and he's an assassin, right? He does have precisely the skill set that would be needed to pull something like this off. Dunwall Docks, ship launch preparations. Approaching Karnaca. Okay, this is another painting of the launching of the ship. Like, it annoys me a little how much the paintings are reused. Like, I understand that in games you need to reuse assets, because otherwise you would run out of memory pretty fast. But it doesn't make sense to me. Just leave it blank. You don't need so many paintings in the first place. Why would there be copies of the same painting in the same building, separated just by one staircase? Like, there's literally the same painting above. Okay, this is the map of the Empire. Serkonos with its capital in Karnaca. Gristol with its capital in Dunwall. Morley with its capital in Winnodown. And Tivia with its capital in Dabkova. Okay.
This reminds me of good times with friends, with Wyman. All gone now.
Throne room blocked off, we should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the king and queen of Morley, did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain.
Okay, so he's going to look for the safe room?
Ramsey's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's my fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play.
And she'll leave him.
Sure, he knows how to talk with the boss.
Or is he going upstairs?
Hair feels heavy.
This won't leave my hand again.
Okay, but I will take down the other guards before I try to go into the safe room. Get your signet ring from Mortimer Ramsey. Because I want to explore the throne room and in the aftermath of... Oh, great. I've just been spotted. Well, as I said, I'll try to reload less, so if they spot me, I'll just try to fight them. Because especially now...
Let's have a look.
Oh, great.
That's Emily Kaldwin.
Yeah, now I just have the option to subdue them non-lethally, even in melee combat, so I do appreciate that a lot. I think it adds a lot to the possible playstyles, because even if you're baddest at stealth, as I am, you can still enjoy the non-lethal playthrough to the fullest, because you can... just take them out in melee combat. Oh great. I've been spotted again. Somehow I thought he was turned... Okay, let's explore the things. In memory of Emily Kaldwin, 1805 to 1837.
Animals. No respect. They're going to pay for this. But I need to get away from here.
In the memory of Her Majesty Emily Kaldwin, mother to Emily, Empress to us all.
Trouble has found us again, Mother. Father, I don't know how, but I'll make this right. I promise. Killed for their loyalty to me. Damn the Duke of Serkonos. Damn Delilah. Look at this place. Senseless slaughter. Ramsey's men barred it so he'd have time to loot my safe room.
Okay, I guess that's where I... Oh! That's like a... What's that called in English? Actually, I don't know. I don't know the word in English used for this. It is like a... It's carried by hand by my servants, and I can sit here and be carried. It's actually a little strange to me that I don't know the word used to describe this. I'm pretty sure I did know it once upon a time. Okay, I think I can just run now, because everyone seems to be subdued at this point.
Anton Sokolov made this lock. I spent so many nights in here after the rat plague.
Whispers from the Void by Barnoli Mulani. It is a common story. A person has stopped breathing, pinned under carriage wheels or some other tragic happenstance, and is thought to be dead, but when the weight is removed, they make a quick recovery. Nonetheless, for a moment or two, the person was lost to us, lost to the world itself. And what did they experience while in this temporary death? Darkness? Nothingness? No, indeed not. They tell us, as many have before, that they have been in a very particular place and they can describe it vividly. And who among us does not know the place? We have all seen it in our dreams. This place we share, in the farthest reaches of our minds. This realm where nothing makes sense, where one is at once both lost and at home. The Void. S&J Health Elixir.
I'll need this.
Okay, this is kind of heartwarming, because in the first game, those were called Sokolov's Health Elixirs, and now it's called S&J Health Elixir, so it means Sokolov and Piero Joplin are still friends, and they are like developing technologies together. Sokolov Industries. Crystal's tools. Okay, Crown Killer strikes again.
The Crown Killer must be connected to all this, with the Duke and Delilah.
I've read that already. Bone charms. Except from a book on sailing traditions and scrimshaw, bone charms, a sailor's blessing, they say. The carving itself is a practice from long back, passed from salty dogs to young greenhorse, still finding their sea legs. In old times, sailors cut into the tusks of ice seals, into the arm-long fangs of the bears that roamed the isles north of Tivia. Once the whaling trade began, the practitioners began engraving the bones of the great beasts, rendering charms that sing in the night and grant some small boon, increasing a lover's vigor or providing defense against pregnancy.
I have a feeling I'll need these.
Z to use the spyglass. Okay. What even is that? It looks vaguely terrifying to me. Part 2. Is there a part 1 anywhere? I would prefer to read it in order. Okay, a map of the Empire. Okay, Corvo Attano Part 1. So first, let's listen to this.
Emily, my daughter, I know that one day you'll be grown up, and I wonder what you'll remember of these years. Will you recall your time as a child with fondness? Or were there too many caretakers, formal dinners and lessons about boring old history? Maybe the precious hours we spent together will shine brighter. Time captured now and then with your mother and with Corvo, who was always close to my heart. I hope the season of rats and plague will be nothing more than a passing shadow on your early memories. A crisis come and past, weathered by your mother and her advisors. You'll sit on the throne someday, and will do well, I hope. It's a tricky life, full of responsibility and peril. It was not your choice to be the daughter of an empress, but I believe you'll rise to the challenge. Stay good-hearted, Emily. Keep drawing and telling stories, and only share your power with those you truly trust.
If only I could talk to my mother one more time. Old Samuel made this. I'm glad he didn't live to see me driven out of Dunwall Tower.
He's dead? He wasn't even that old. He was what, 40? No, well, I guess he was more like 50. So to be honest, he might have died. Like, it's the setting is roughly analogous to like the 19th century or something, with some added things. So 65 would have been, you know, already kinda old. Okay, I need to pause for a second. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, oh, those are her drawings from when she was a kid, from the Golden Cat, which is a brothel that she was held at, which still I find highly disturbing, the implications of that knowledge. Coldridge Prison in Dunwall Tower. This is the Dunwall Tower. And this is the Old Hound's pit with the tower that she lived in there. Letter from Wyman. Emily, I didn't want to wake you this morning, but you'll forgive me, since we must have said goodbye 100 times yesterday night. The only chance I get to see you with your hair, whichever way is while you're asleep. As soon as the sun rises, you'll put your Empress face. It makes me happy that I know your real face, the one that laughs at our silly rhymes. I don't want to go back to Morley, but I'm needed there. It'll be 4 months before we see each other again. I'll miss you, and yes, I'll bring you some good white leaf tobacco for your hookah. Lord Corvo, if you're reading this letter as per your royal protector functions, know that I'm joking, and perfectly aware that the white leaf tobacco is forbidden in Gristo. Take care, my darling Emily. Don't go falling from a rooftop. I love you. Okay. Corvo Attano, the Royal Protector is on our times. The Royal Protector in our times. His parents were older at the time of his birth, and his father died in a lumber accident outside the city when Corvo was still young. Around that time, his only sibling, a firstborn sister, moved away to Morley, and the family subsequently lost all contact with her. Only 16, Corvo dazzled the people of Karnaca when he entered and won the annual Blade Verbena. The spectators from all over Serkonos were thrilled to see someone so young and striking from a working-class family advance through the duel after duel, eventually taking the prize. This unexpected outcome secured Corvo a junior officer ranking in the Grand Serkonon Guard. As a soldier, he was involved in a number of conflicts against organized crime groups, rogue city-states within Serkonos, and pirate bands along the chain of islands radiating east from Serkonos. Sent from his homeland at the age of 18 by the Duke of Serkonos, then Theodanis Abel, the father of Luca Abel, Corvo was assigned to serve the Emperor in Dunwall as a diplomatic gift. His Serkonon heritage made him a bit of an outsider in Dunwall, but the capital city must have seemed exotic and full of old-world imagery. A few months after he moved to Dunwall, it is recorded that Corvo received word that his mother has passed away, several weeks after his departure from Karnaca. In act of rebellion, young Emily Kaldwin chose Corvo as her royal protector. When Corvo was 19, she was 12. He served her loyally as a bodyguard, courier, and some say as spy, before and after she was crowned empress. Though it was a scandalous gossip at the time, it's said that they've began a lover affair around 1823, when Jessamine was 18 and Corvo 25. I feel a little bit weirded out by the fact that he knew her from when she was a relatively young child, and you know, he served as her protector from that time, and then they've become lovers. Like, I don't think it's like there are some uncomfortable undertones in that relationship to me, because if you've been so close since you were children, you know, since she was a child and he was older. I feel it's not necessarily like her will in choosing that relationship might not be as free as she would like to think, is what I'm saying. The next chapter of Attano's life is something of a legend. During the time of the Rat Plague, when the Empress fell, Corvo was accused of regicide and sentenced for execution. He was thrown into Coldridge prison and publicly reviled. He escaped, and as a part of a small conspiracy dedicated to throwing down the tyrannical Lord Regent, Corvo struck back at the people who killed the Empress and who wronged him. As the Lord Regent fell, the Loyalist conspiracy turned on Corvo, poisoning him. Surviving through some inner resilience, he located the true assassin of the Empress and fought his way out of the flooded district. Corvo eventually cornered the last of the Loyalists on King Sparrow Island at the Burrows Lighthouse and rescued Emily Kaldwin, the heir to the throne. The romantic involvement between Corvo Attano and Empress Jessamine was a terribly kept cold secret, and thus it is widely held that Emily Kaldwin is their daughter. Following the interregnum, Corvo watched over Emily as she began to rule the Empire of the Isles. You know, it's something I haven't considered, but if her father is not known, like, was the Empress married? I don't think so. I don't think it was ever, stated anywhere. So, technically speaking, isn't Emily a bastard? Like, they do have marriages in this universe, because marriages were mentioned a couple of times in Dishonored 1, so it's not like the institution of marriage doesn't exist. It does.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here. This could be handy.
So I guess those are like the kingdom's part of the kingdom's gold reserves. Yeah, imperial reserves. River crust, black crab, whale oil, fish. Oh, and those are the Pendleton brothers at the brothel, and this is her, Emily, when she was being held there. Crystal Safe and Lock Company, quality handmade. Okay, I guess I'm ready to go.
Ramsey deserves my attention.
Oh. You need to deal with Mortimer Ramsey first. He could be locked in the safe room, which contains rations and water. Yeah, but to be honest, that doesn't strike me as a very effective solution, because sure, they couldn't open it without the key, but they could, when he wakes up from being unconscious, he could just scream at them through the wall, and then they would like blow it up or something. What I'm saying is, I don't think he's going to I don't think it's going to detain him for very long. Also, shouldn't I close this somehow? Lock him in the safe room. Yeah, but I need to close the door somehow, right?
I should close the safe room door so Captain Ramsey stays put.
That's what I'm saying.
Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsey. The Imperial suite atop Dunwall Tower. Stay put until this is all set straight, Ramsey. Enjoy the rations and well water, sleeping next to a fortune.
Okay, I will go out, but next time, because this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save. and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!